Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. In-laws sometimes act like they've missed their own chance at living vicariously, so they've decided to hitch a ride on your life. Today in the rLounge, the second chance is not up for grabs. You've got your own life to mess up, thank you very much, and it's not their playground to relive missed opportunities. Up first, apparently some people think being a grandma is just a warm-up for a redo for the whole parenting gig. Am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law to stop calling herself mom to my baby? I was so happy when I gave birth to my daughter 4 months ago. She's my first child, and honestly, it's been a roller coaster ride for me. My husband has been great, but the problem started with his mom. From day one, my mother-in-law has been very involved. She visited the hospital the day after I gave birth and was constantly hovering, offering advice I didn't ask for. I chalked it up to excitement. But then things started getting weird. She began referring to herself as mommy when holding my daughter. At first I thought I misheard, but she kept doing it. When I gently corrected her, she laughed it off like I was being silly. I told my husband it made me uncomfortable, and he agreed it was odd, but didn't want to confront her because, according to him, that's just how she is. So I did. The next time she said it, I calmly said to her that, please don't call yourself mom around my daughter. It's confusing, and frankly, it's not your role. She looked shocked, then told me I was overreacting and that babies don't understand titles at this age. I stood firm and said, maybe not now, but she will soon, and I'm her mom. You're her grandma. That should be a special title too. She got upset and left early. Later that day, I got a long text about how I embarrassed her, how she was just expressing love, and how I'm being territorial and insecure. Now, some of my in-laws are saying I hurt her feelings and should apologize because it's not like she's trying to replace me. I don't think I'm being insecure, I just want it clear. My baby will only have one mom. So, am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law to stop calling herself mom to my baby? Let's see what the community thinks about all this. First up, but if she posted a picture with the baby calling herself mom, isn't that all the proof the family needs? Unless they are as crazy as her. In that instance, none of them need to be around. I've never had anything that crazy challenging my parenting, thankfully, but that would be a hard F off for me. The OP replies, I was so lucky with my husband, but not with his family. But I still got his side, and that matters the most. Next person says, those other people are part of the problem as well. When stuff like this starts, it needs to be called out. A couple people let it slide, and she never learned her lesson. So now you have to be the one who gets the bad rap. Personally, I would tell her you aren't the only one who had problems with her. I wouldn't go as far as outing them, but she needs to know she's fully in the wrong, and it's not just you that thinks it. Another opinion goes like this. Don't say anything to her. She made a hole for herself with the Mummy's Girl post, so let her keep digging. She'll become more and more bizarre in public, and OP gets to keep her peace at home far away. The overall judgment was not the a-hole. Update. Thanks to everyone who commented. Reading your responses really helped me feel more grounded. I wanted to give an update because things definitely escalated, but in some unexpected ways. So after the confrontation and her dramatic exit, my mother-in-law went full hurt grandma mode. She told extended family I banned her from seeing the baby, which I didn't, and that I accused her of trying to kidnap her granddaughter. The group texts got wild. A few flying monkeys started chiming in about how I need help and how babies don't care what you call yourself anyway. I didn't respond to any of it. My husband finally stepped up and called her directly. He told her she needed to respect boundaries or there would be consequences. She cried, again, said she was just trying to love the baby the way she knew how, and I was turning him against her. She posted a photo of her holding our daughter on Facebook with the caption, Mommy's Girl, publicly, tagging family. That was my breaking point. I immediately texted her and said, until you can respect the fact that I am her mother, not you, we are going to take a break from visits. My husband backed me up 100%. We've since limited contact to just polite texts and occasional check-ins, and no in-person visits for now. She hasn't apologized. So far, life has been a lot more peaceful. I've gotten some icy texts from a couple family members, but more surprisingly, a few others reached out privately to say they had similar issues with her and respected how I handled it. Thank you for your support. Let's go back to comments for one more lengthy one. That update was crazy. I'm so glad you stepped your foot down. When you got married, you and your husband became one, became your own family. It wasn't him, you, and mom. Honestly, it's literally in the Bible. Your mother-in-law is manipulative, and I wonder where your father-in-law is because it's giving obsessive single mom vibes. Like I saw some adult mother post pictures with her adult son that, when you look at it, looked extremely intimate, as if she wasn't a mom but a wife. From the poses, one of them was her naked wearing his jacket. Weird. Some women make their children their partners emotionally in their mind. It's 100% inappropriate for her to do such a thing. This is your baby. If she wants a baby so bad, she can go adopt one or volunteer at an orphanage. And any family members who are on her side are not to be trusted. Some lady lost her newborn baby in a house fire, so she thought years later she went to a party where extended family on the father's side was there and found her child. Got hair and got DNA tested and everything. Apparently, an extended family member from the father's side stole her baby and set a house fire and lived for years pretending to be the baby's mom. So yes, there are psychopaths, and no one can tell me no one else in the father's side extended family didn't know or realize the baby wasn't hers, and that it was odd timing. Suddenly she shows up with a newborn? At the end of the day, you are the in-law, and some people will treat you as such, which could even mean hurting you, whether it's emotionally or something as wild as being a bystander to literal crimes. I mean, your mother-in-law is accusing you of some big crimes now. If she wanted to, she could go to court or the police saying you did these things and sue you for defamation of character or false accusation of kidnapping. That means your mother-in-law has no issue hurting you and your immediate family, husband and child. Not only that, there are members who would stand by her side and watch her do it. To wrap it up, I'm so proud of you, girl, for protecting your family. Biblical family. You, your husband, and your child family. At the end of the day, that's the family that matters, and everyone else doesn't. Literally, your child can grow up just fine without aunts and uncles, cousins, and grandparents, but growing up without a parent impacts a child more. That's why family is you, your spouse, and your children. You both left your respective families to become one new family. Great job, mama. Calling yourself mom in front of your baby? That's next level boundary issues. And for her to turn this into you being territorial and insecure is classic manipulation. She's acting like she's trying to steal the spotlight, and you're absolutely right to set a boundary. The fact that she posted a picture with your daughter with the caption, "Mommy's Girl," on Facebook? That's basically her declaring, "I'm the real mom, not you," for the whole world to see. At that point, you had every right to step back and set stronger boundaries. Have you ever had to set a tough boundary with a family member over your role as a parent? How did you handle it? Up next, now we know why some people just skip the stress and elope. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom I'm used to it after my parents ruined the surprise of my engagement and the wedding dress? I, 27 female, am getting married in September of 2025. I'm in a long-distance relationship. My partner lives in England and I'm in the US. We're lucky enough that I work remote and visit about 3 times a year for 6 weeks at a time, and he visits me in the US about 4 times a year for once a week. When he was planning to propose, he had asked my parents' blessing in March of 2024. My parents had assumed that I would know when he was proposing, and my dad had told me in a conversation that following week he was proposing in December of 2024. As you can imagine, I was upset. My mother invalidated my feelings and said I was making it a big deal and being stupid for not assuming it was going to be during Christmas because that's when both of our families were together. My argument is that while I could have had a hunch, I didn't want to be told when it was, and basically could have gone practically a whole year wondering excitedly when it would be. For all I know, he could have proposed before that, and Christmas we would have had an engagement party. Anyway, basically my dad apologized, but my mom has stood firm on saying I'm dramatic for being upset. Since then, more things have gone wrong. It has started to leave me just so sad about wedding planning. None of this has been a good experience, and I've started to feel like it's a chore. Flash forward to today. My partner is visiting, just for 1 week, and we're all sitting on the couch in the living room. My mom randomly turns to me and goes, "Have you picked up your veil from the bridal store yet?" Right in front of him. And then my partner smiles and goes, "Oh, you're wearing a veil?" And I just got super frustrated. There are only 2 surprises in a wedding, the engagement and the dress, and both of them have been handled so carelessly. So I turned to my mom and said, "Can you please not mention anything about the dress? Not the shoes, nothing. I don't want him knowing anything." She rolls her eyes, walks around, and about 10 minutes later gives a half-hearted apologies, just saying, "Sorry, OP." And I replied, "It's fine. I'm used to it at this point." And now she's gone back and locked herself in the room. So I guess, am I the a-hole for being upset? edit. I know a lot of people are asking if this is like her. It isn't. She's already had one of her 4 daughters get married. I'm the second. She never ruined the engagement or that dress. And she seemed to care a whole lot more about her than she has me during this time. Second edit. Nowadays, a lot of brides opt to wear veils, tiaras, sometimes hats, or embellishments, or nothing at all. I forgot to mention that my fiancé had told me he didn't want to know if I was wearing a veil or anything and wanted it all to be a surprise. Since he's very mild-tempered and sweet, he was surprised but was trying to be nice in his reaction because he knew I'd be upset. Let's see what some of the comments say. First up, not the a-hole. Put your parents on an information diet. Also, know in the future they're always going to do this. Maybe be prepared for some oddball wedding toast from them. The next person says, I'm used to it at this point. Brilliant. Well-deserved answer. Now she's sulking in her room. Leave her there. And one more person says, yep, let her stay in there as long as she wants to. Don't give her the attention she's looking for. Your mother sounds toxic. Stop telling her things. The overall judgment was not the a-hole. Update, 1 day later. So for context, a lot of things have gone wrong since we have been in talks of getting engaged. Obviously, my dad had told me about the engagement, but then other things went wrong, like my partner's sister causing drama the day before our engagement, the day of our engagement going horribly wrong to the point my partner told me he'd propose again, finding out last month that my partner's dad got remarried a year ago in secret. We didn't even know he was dating anyone, and him asking for a +1 for the wife no one had even heard of, while also telling my partner he's ridiculous for being upset because it isn't a big deal. And my best friend bailing on my bachelorette for someone else's. So it's safe to say that since December, it's been stressful. And those are only the bigger issues I mentioned. I know everyone was saying my mom should be on an info diet. She already was by her own choice. She hasn't asked or been part of anything by her own design, and it's felt like she couldn't care less about the wedding. The only time she cared was when she found out we were only inviting 40 people, and people she wanted there weren't invited, like her friends, who I barely see or know, and her brother and cousin, who I both haven't seen since I was 11. That's when she insisted on paying for them so they could come, and that's the only time she asked about anything having to do with the wedding, or to be honest, anything involving me. She hasn't checked in to see if me and my partner are okay, given all the other stuff that has happened either. She ended up speaking with my mom a little while after what happened, and I told her while I know I shouldn't have said I'm used to it, that ultimately I'm upset because it seems like nothing has gone right. She seemed apologetic at first and said she didn't know why she said that and knew that she shouldn't have. I nodded and said, just please don't say anything else regarding what you know about the dress. She was there when I got the dress and the veil up with my sisters. I then told her that I'm just tired of things going wrong and that my partner and I have felt super unsupported and alone. She responded back, starting her sentence with, OP, only a handful of things have happened. I feel like you're looking for things to be upset about at this point. And to be honest, when she said that, I kind of lost it. I basically said that I don't go looking for any of this, and all these things that have happened to my fiancé and I were out of our control. Like, you're the one who brought up the veil, not me. I didn't go looking for any of these issues. I told her if there was one problem, then fine, I'd have handled it and moved on. But that the repeated offensive coming from every single angle have hurt me and my partner. I've been trying to get over what's occurred, but something else happens to make the wedding planning even harder for us. I told her that my fiancé and I both have felt super alone during a time that's supposed to be joyful, and that her carelessness and thoughtfulness has been super hurtful, especially when she's continually invalidated my feelings. She shrugged and said that she's done nothing, and she's not going to talk to me or ask me about the other problems going on because I've been upset, and she doesn't want to deal with it. After a lot of your comments, I realized that I definitely was attempting to include someone who has shown not only should they not be, but they don't want to be. My partner leaves back to the UK today, but at this point I'm considering eloping with him, if I can, when I'm visiting him in England in May. We've already paid half of what we owe to our venue and photographer, so canceling isn't really an option, but maybe we'll have just the reception instead of the ceremony. Thank you for the comments who pointed out that if we ever have children, to keep the important moments to ourselves of gender or birth date or names. I think you're right, and my mom is pretty much ensured she will be on a permanent info diet for as long as she's in my life, because if not, she'll more than likely spoil it and invalidate my feelings. I think ultimately it wasn't about the veil for me. I know my partner will still be surprised. I'm just sad because he told me he didn't want an idea of anything and wanted to be completely clueless about what I would be wearing. But ultimately, this was about the continued thoughtlessness and invalidation that's pretty much been the theme for the last 4 months. If my mom had said she was sorry and left it, it would have been fine. But acting like I went looking to be upset when she randomly ruins yet another detail is just wild to me. Edit. I also forgot to say, yes, I'm moving to England. We are hoping to make that jump at the beginning of 2026. Second edit. I know a lot of people are saying completely cancel the venue, but we already have friends and family from my fiance's side who have bought their flight tickets to come. At least 10 have already confirmed. I don't think I have the heart in me to cost people that kind of money when they've already invested into this. Third edit. I'm not sure if my mom cares that I'm moving. I'm in England for 6 to 8 weeks at a time every few months, so she's already used to me leaving for a significant amount of time. She doesn't seem sad I'm leaving, and if anything, had said she understands why I'm moving. If she is sad, or that's the real reason behind all this, I'd actually be super surprised. I won't rule it out, but my mom isn't the type to care about that sort of thing. Now let's check with the community for some comments. First up, I still say move to England, elope, honeymoon in the Sicily Islands, and make your life somewhere you want. You'll never get what you want from your mom, and I'm sorry for that. Next comment. Marry quietly, just you, him, and a couple of people who truly love you. Then do the reception with the a-holes. One last comment. Not the a-hole. You didn't go looking for problems, people kept handing them to you. Your mom isn't just thoughtless. She's emotionally dismissive, and you're right to stop handing her opportunities to hurt you. Eloping sounds honestly peaceful after everything. Protect your joy because clearly some people will never show up for it the way you deserve. Absolutely not the a-hole here, OP. Your mom's actions are definitely inconsiderate, especially when it comes to something that should have been a surprise like your dress. The repeated invalidation of your feelings is the real issue here, not the veil or the wedding planning. It's not about being dramatic. It's about having the chance to enjoy these special moments without them being undercut by someone else. I say elope, do it your way, and let everyone else keep their opinions locked in their rooms with your mom. If you were in OP's shoes, would you elope or try to salvage the wedding with your family involved? Thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time. And please put your chair back where you found it.